Forgive me, fantasy high priest K-Man, for I have sinned.
How long has it been since your last correct take?
Pre-season.
And what is your confession, my child?
Well, I told the people that Lockie McAndrew at R2 was too risky.
Go on.
I said that Riley O'Brien would be a threat.
And was he?
No, Father.
No, he was not. Did you ignore the role?
Yes, Father.
Did you ignore the price?
Yes, Father.
More importantly, did you trust your gut?
Yes, Father. I trusted my gut.
Well, that was your first mistake.
You don't have to rub it in, all right? Just
What was that?
nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing.
For your sins, you must watch McAndrew ton up while your R2 scores do poorly.
I accept my punishment, Father.
And you must tell the listeners.
We got it wrong.
Amen.
I can't find the intro music. Hello. This is the contest. Fantasy Footy Show, where K-Man's Never Again list is getting longer than Santa's naughty list. I'm Jesse. I like redraft. I'm with K-Man. He's a dual hat winner. We're your hosts, and we like fantasy footy. You can follow K-Man on Twitter at K-Man_TC Fantasy. And you can follow me on Twitter at Contest Fantasy. K-Man, mate, high priest of fantasy. How you doing?
Woo! That, last week I said that was a doozy. That was a doozy of a fantasy round. Wasn't it great? That was great.
That was the round from hell. that was the round
the epitome.
from hell.
Wow. And just, I don't know where we start. I really don't. But let's start with what a cracking game of footy that just was. The Easter Monday.
That was incredible.
Spectacular. Oh, Hawks and Cats, you've done it again.
That was like your classic, if you've ever got, a non-AFL fan or someone you're showing the game, you could show them that game and be like, this is footy.
That's
outstanding.
190,000 people losing their minds. Oh, that was cool.
Brilliant. And Catman was in attendance, as usual. So that was... that was.
Oh, poor Catman.
Catman strikes back. Yeah, that was... That's tough. My wife was at the dining table when there was 51 seconds to go and they were back in the center bounce and it was drawn and I was like, you got to come watch this. This is going to be outstanding. And sure enough, inevitably, whenever there's a draw, it ends up scrappy on the ground in the goal square in front of someone's goal. Inevitably, every single time. It was absolutely outstanding. And I was kind of hoping. When this K-Man's got a derobe from it's a bit hot. I was kind of thinking it might be a miracle on grass situation for a second there when there was like 15 seconds to go. Geelong were making their way to the other end of the field. And then Shannon Neal just couldn't get the handball away.
Yeah,
Tackled.
that's it. And then was surrounded.
And that was it. They just absolutely
swore.
Jesus, flocked to him. Swore.
Yeah.
Moths to a flame. It's pizza night tonight. It's
nice.
It's homemade pizza night tonight. So I've got I got the stone in the oven. It's preheating.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's all good. It's got to give that oven a good hour to preheat.
Okay.
That stone's got to get pretty hot. Do you Do you guys home make pizza in your house?
Yeah, we usually do a Thursday night or a Friday night. We don't have the stone oven, but my partner does wonders with cooking and food, and we're very blessed and grateful because she's just insane. So, yep, homemade pizza is a staple. I think we had
made the dough
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, we don't usually have it on a Monday night, but we're on holidays now, you and me. So I had time to make some dough. It's wonderful. I got time to slap that dough out. Don't have to worry about going to work tomorrow. It's outstanding.
We're doing a podcast.
What's your go-to?
6:30
we're doing
night.
A podcast. And we're not worried about it. We're not worried about it.
No.
There's no bedtime, baby. Oh, how good was that game after the last pod? So we recorded at the pub and then we went to the footy. That game was outstanding, watching the Brisbane Lions clobber Collingwood.
Yeah, that was fun. I did warn you and Jimmy Jams that normally there are some Collingwood supporters near us that can cause a bit of trouble, but they were quiet. They were very quiet.
Didn't have much to cause trouble about, did they?
Cheer about, did they? No, that's right.
Do you think?
Speaking of that, you just reminded me. I'm adding a mic to phone.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
I've got 10.
There's been a bit of chat. You've got more than 10, mate. Jeez. I thought I'd stocked up this week. There's been a bit of chat about Collingwood and Brisbane this week. Just really quick, like 30 seconds. Do you think Collingwood are in trouble because they've got no draft capital? The last few years they've spent their time trading for players and that kind of thing rather than going to the draft. Nick Dacos was out of the team, and their midfield were and Pendlebury, I think, and their midfield just collapsed. I'm worried about them in 2 years' time.
No, I wouldn't say they're in trouble. Obviously, side bottom Pendlebury are going to be some huge losses. They lost a bit of forward half experience as well. Mychek had a cracking game. He had a cracking game the other day as well. So I think they're starting to think, oh, gee, we've lost some experience. But I think there is some good youngsters coming through, and I think they'll be fine in a couple of years. And I'm sure Collingwood's going to shore up Pendles as a coach, a midfield coach as well. So, I mean, we still think that the Dacoses are late 20s, but they're not. What are they, 22 and 25, 26?
Yeah,
I think
early and mid.
Fine.
They'll be just fine.
They'll be fine.
All right. Before we get stuck into it, everyone, if you dig the content, remember to chuck a follow and a 5-star rating our way on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also like, share, and subscribe over on YouTube because we are over on YouTube now. We've got a great show lined up. I've just lost the run sheet. We've got a great show lined up today. It's been a chaotic week, so we wanted to devote some time to your questions. Everyone's probably looking for advice. I know we are. Can someone give us advice? That'd be nice. As always, we'll finish with the trade block and preview next week's trade options. But first, giddy up and Mike the Phony.
Giddy up.
Like you didn't call me a phony!
Got it dialed in, mate. You got it dialed in.
Got it.
Giddy up, Mike the Phony, where we use childish puns to summarize our fantasy week. Let us know your punny best and worst of the week on Twitter, and we'll laugh at them on the podcast. K-Man, take it away. Who is your Giddy Up and Mike the Phony players this week?
I was really going to add, like a cricket's soundbite, and I'd insert here. My Giddy Up is, and that would be the cricket sound that took over, because I don't have one. I don't have one this week. It was just going to be crickets. The only one I could think of is Kai Sarong. That's it. That's all.
Did you at least get his score? Did you get his score on field? You weren't stuck with him on the bench, were you?
Yeah, no, he was on field. I think he was my top scorer.
Excellent.
No Jack Steele, but I'm looking forward to Mike the Phony.
Take it away.
Oh, you want me to just get straight into it? Okay.
That's what we usually do, isn't it? He gives you,
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Mike the Phony. I've got my whole team. Let's start from the top. The English patient. The English patient
Whole
with a
team.
51
Yeah.
captain score. Darcy Sparris. Darcy Parish,
like
I
that.
really needed.
Yeah.
Leo Lobard, because, again, another rookie I needed on field. Jack Watt, you play footy? Jack Watkins was my Nick Dacos replacement after a laid out. Smashmouth Walsh, because Smash Mouth was a very overrated band back in the 90s. I don't know if you find that controversial.
That is so good.
Zach's,
so good.
Zach's Butt Wars, because that was just... Shy Borgot just didn't want it. Very shy.
No.
And no Dacos was my other microphone. So, yeah, that was interesting.
Smashmouth Walsh is outstanding. that is so good. Well done. If there was a little applause button, I think there is actually, but I don't have it open in front of me. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, my giddy-ups for the week. Will Thrashcroft. Oh, my goodness, what a trade in that was. I remember watching, we were at the game, and at the end of every quarter I was checking. He had sort of a slowish first quarter, and then the man just absolutely exploded and took off. Do you have ghosts, mate?
I have a puppy. I have a puppy. A puppy just...
Oh, you got the puppy who's just come in.
But you're right. The door's just open. I'm just going, ooh.
Casper, the friendly ghost. Will Thrashcroft, he absolutely smashed it.
Yeah. I need if you don't mind, I need a public apology to Matt Mottram, who that Thursday morning sent me a message saying, hey, what do you think of Ashcroft as a bring-in this week? And I said,
Matt,
I'm so sorry, mate.
You should have messaged me, mate, and I would have told you.
I said that. I said,
I would have said, get on board.
I'm sorry, mate.
Well, we were talking about Will, because we were talking about him on the Thursday pod, actually, when we recorded the trade therapy pod, and it was a thing we talked about. He's a big game player, and it was just kind of a gut feel. There really wasn't a lot of analysis to it. Anyway, who knows? He'll probably drop a 65 next week, and he'll be in my microphonies. Archie Goetitz, because my goodness, he was everywhere. He looked incredible.
We talked about it.
Whoa!
Can you imagine?
Thank goodness.
It was. Hey, be honest here. What percentage of the week did you have him as a trade out? In
95. 95%. Do you know what it was? Because it was literally the Thursday morning or the Wednesday evening, and I just started thinking like his price had come down so much, and I was like, well, if he's scoring around about his price, is he actually? And then I talked to you about it, and you reinforced that. You're like, do not trade him out. And so I'm glad you reinforced that for me, because wow, I think I said to you I would spontaneously combust in chat. Like after you asked me and a messenger, you were like, "What would you do if you traded him out?" I was like, "I'd spontaneously combust." And so he looked awesome. I'm taking credit for it too, because I posted on Twitter before that game that he was my last pod in my team this round, and that I was dreaming for a 110, even though it was unlikely, and I got a 136. So that was outstanding. Speaking of outstanding, Brody Grundysaurus Rex, the man, is back. I know it was against the Weagles. I watched the second half. Yeah. He looked awesome in the second half. I think I'm going to have to go back and
watch, because as you know, there's going to be a lot of coaches looking for an R1 this week.
Totally. Look, the flag here is West Coast Eagles. What I will say, because he got off to a slowish start in the first quarter from memory, and then he just kind of exploded. In the second half of the game, the man was everywhere. Like he looked back to that. He was demanding the ball. He was kind of back to his pig self. He was taking cheeky +6s. He was getting into the contest and kind of handballing out. One thing that he did that I think probably tacked on a good 20 points to his score, because Matt Flynn, he just grabbed the ball out of the air and threw it on his boot. So he got a ton of +3s for free. He's not going to be able to do that every week. So that's one thing to consider. Mike the Phonies, Shea Bolton, because he ain't doing it. Didn't do it for me. I had C-Mac. I had C-Mac in there until the day Freo played. And then I switched to Shea Bolton. And now C-Mac's come out with a 106 and I'm spewing.
You know, it's one of those days where I think I mentioned in the first quarter, Caleb Sarong could have given it to him twice, maybe even 3 times, didn't. And you go, oh, it's going to be one of those days, is it? And then there was a point where he drifted out to the wing. His teammate was there, said, yep, this is an easy +6. I was like, you know how you count a +6 before it happens? Yeah. And his teammate just kicked it straight into the guy in the mark. I just went, it's one of those. It's one of those.
You messaged me. You were like, this is going to be a hard watch. Because I chose not to watch that game because I had Luke Jackson and I had Shea Bolton and I had no faith in either of them. And I was left questioning, why did I trade this guy in? I don't believe it.
The role was there again. The CBAs were there.
Yeah.
He was the distributor when he got it. He had a shot on goal. He got a goal. It was just Reed got 20 more points than he normally would. The others shared it around a bit. Again, process-wise, the role was there. And it's just that Freo system where not all of them can get the points. They just can't. But yeah, like you, I had Cozzy Pickett until 5 minutes till ball up.
Oh, it's brutal, isn't it? It's brutal.
Yeah.
My other microphone is Jack. What was that, King? Because Jack Watkins as well. Yeah. And Jagger spewing. Oh, Carlton just look appalling, don't they? Anyway, all right. We got some from Twitter. Lockie Blacker sucks. Jai on the bench is so wrong. Also, actually, there's a lot of that. Jai is so wrong for putting you on the bench. We've got Jaden Snort. Although I think that's, he got up to nearly a ton, didn't he? He got pretty close.
Yeah, I thought he was there and thereabouts. Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, I guess he's not doing those 120s that he did for the first couple of weeks. Jai Cold Spell. Oh, Luke Davies Unislack. Zach Sputters. Sam Blank. Okay, those were all the Mike the Phonies. I got some giddy ups as well. Wayne Miller, because he came out and he did it. That must have made you happy seeing that. That must have made you happy.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
We got another Will Smashcroft. We've got Caleb Sagong. We've got
killing it.
Lachlan Demandrew, because he is. This is actually a good. We didn't acknowledge that cold open that we did.
Jeez, that's right.
We did. Yeah. We did not acknowledge that cold open. We felt, everybody, that it was very important that we came out. We put our hands up. We're eating humble pie. Yep. We were very vocal preseason. It's not worth the risk. It was worth the risk. The man's elite. It's fantastic. He's awesome. I think he just single-handedly ended Riley O'Brien's career, at least at Adelaide the other night. Anyway, that's Giddy Up Microphone. If you want to share us with your punny names with us, chuck them up on Twitter. Watch out for that post. We've got a few injuries. You want to talk about these while we go around the grounds? There's a few flags that people need to be aware of, although I'm sure everyone is aware of these by now. It's going to be the theme of our episode. Hey.
Yeah, so Tim English, MCL, 1 to 3 weeks out of gather round. Is it 1 to 3, 3 to 6? 1 to 3. So just by a lot of commentary, it looks to be 2 to 3. Look, we'll talk about it later. There's two options here. There's either we go to a Grundy and Gawn and that's a debate in itself because that's about 200K difference between both of them. Both of them just ruck elite of the elite. But one is absolutely Max Gorn against Jared Witz, the Whittler, his arch nemesis, just put that to bed. And then he got Grundy with a welcome back Cotter score, but it was against the Weagles. The other option is you hold. And you hold for a couple of weeks, whereby McAndrew is your M2. You still have the ability to perhaps bring in a ruckman, and then you've got some cash there sitting and waiting for whatever flexibility you want in terms of McAndrew moving on, using that cash elsewhere. But yeah, not great because I think he's 44% owned. Ed Richards is the same. Was late out, knee soreness, looks to be 2 odd weeks, and Nick Dacos was a late out with a corky. Came out today that they're expecting him to play for Freo against Freo. He trained today, so he will be a welcome back, depending on how he does come back. But some big personnel issues for coaches, and just adding. Should we rattle them off? Like it's round 4. It's round 4, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
In terms of the bullets. What have we had? Rosie,
Goulden,
Trucker, Goulden.
Now Tim English,
Tom Marshall, English.
Ed Richards.
Sure we're missing Ed Richards, Hayden Young.
We can count Nick Dacos because a lot of people would have traded him in to immediately not play as well.
Yeah, round 4, mate. Isn't that crazy? And it's not just your pod here and there, and it might be in 10. It's in large percentage of teams, and I'm sure we've forgotten someone. But just crazy how it's turned the competition on its head.
Absolutely, it's massive. Bergman. Did we say Todd Marshall? I think he said Todd Marshall as well. Yeah. So we got all these guys. It's been insane. I can't remember a year where we had this many injuries this early, but particularly this many injuries to such relevant players. And that's the key. So we thought we had something else planned for this episode, and then we thought, you know what? Well, K-Man messaged me, and you were like, we've just got to put that on the back burner. People are going to have questions. People are going to want to ask, what do I do about this? What do I do about this? How do I approach this? And we thought, let's actually just make this a bit of a Q&A episode, which we don't usually do on these Tuesday pods. So today's all about you. Listener questions, giving advice.
We've forgotten more. Green, Will Day, Libber, Laird, Heaney. I know some of them are coming back, but just thought I'd add that to the list.
Speaking of Heaney.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. I'm
$100,000.
actually very interested. Again, I know he was against the West Coast Eagles, but all righty. So should we get into the main chat then? We've got a bunch of listener questions lined up. We'll answer these, but we'll also, as particular players come up, take the opportunity maybe just to expand and talk about those particular situations and maybe how they relate to us as well. We'll kick off with the Carton Blues asks, trade into Newman or Bice this week coming up. This is an interesting one. Because Newman was that guy that was in our teams all preseason until it became clear that he wasn't going to be able to get up in time. So after seeing what we saw, you kind of go, well, he should be the logical guy to slot in. I have fears about Carlton players now. I am also now with you on Sam Walsh is a serious trade out candidate for me this week. He's losing money. It's unclear what's going to happen with that team moving forward. Do you know what Carlton's run is like actually? I haven't. I'm just getting it up now. So they've got North next week. No, they've just had North, haven't they? They've just had North, sorry, and they got. That was not easy for them. They got blown away. They got Adelaide next week, then Collingwood, then Freo, then St Kilda, then Brisbane, then the Dogs, which would be a good matchup for Nick Newman.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy run ahead for Carlton players.
No, he did, what did he get? 92 points. He needed a goal, 19 possessions, only 1 tackle. I think he's someone that we can wait a couple of weeks on, not just one. He's going to need some momentum, some fitness. they are some tough matchups. I think Bice has actually started to hit his straps. 100 on the weekend, and that was against the week. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good, and he's done this
cheaper
before.
too.
Yeah, cheaper. Again, everything kickstarts from the back half of the Swans. So, I guess the positive is, if you go a Bice, I think there's room where in a couple of weeks you'll have both as we head into mid-season buys and we pick up these underpriced premiums, because some of these rookies are starting to stall. We've seen Blackiston, he's got to go. Josh Lindsay didn't pull out the score that we wanted. Grill, although he got to 74, just got to a 74. And like all of these rookies, they're going to start to fatigue. So with a lot of coaches going heavy on your Bonts, paying up for Nick Dacos, I think these are the areas they're going to fix our defensive line heading into mid-season buys to get a completed line. So I could forecast that there's room for both in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I would throw out there that if you haven't got a Coleman, I probably actually prefer him to both of these guys. Like that's actually where I'd go before I went to a Riley Bice or before I went to a Nick Newman. I think like the issue I have with the one thing that bothers me about Riley Bice is probably the Sydney system. And I just think you kind of never quite know which way the points are going to fall in that Sydney backline from week to week. Now, obviously, he's strung 3 good weeks together, but he did that last year as well. Callum Mills has had some down weeks. Callum Mills is going to get his at times too. I know Errol Goulden's out, so that moves things around a little bit. But, you know, and I guess maybe the other way to look at that is maybe that solidifies Riley Bice's role in that backline. But I think for me, when I look at Kitty Coleman, I go, he solidified himself the other night for almost kind of like what you were suggesting, like a Nick Martini sort of Brian Myers-y kind of role, like
wherever he wants. Start
at half back, do some kick-ins, primarily work off of half back, but he can kind of go wherever he wants. That I'm with you now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Jasper Fletcher as the season goes on start to spend some more time up the field and on the wing as well, because now that we've seen what Kitty can do. So I know the question's about Newman or Bice, but I think if you don't have a Kitty Coleman and he's an option, that'd be my preference. Over those two guys.
If we rank it, are you going Coleman, Bice, Newman?
Yeah. I like the price of Bice better than Newman. Newman's
I like the price is Bice.
Price
is wrong. I won't say that.
Price is wrong. B. This is a clean show.
I do like Bice's run over the next month. He's got some really good matchups.
Yeah.
So something to think about.
Absolutely. He's a lot cheaper than Newman. He's like $80K cheaper than Newman. So I think you can use that money elsewhere, especially if it means getting in like a Jacob Farrow who should be around the 420K mark after that performance. So I think for a Farrow this week is going to be you either get him or you don't. That'd be something to consider too. FMF asks, is there any world where we hold English at R3? There's not been a knockout ruck 3 pick all year. Could be logic to grab Cash and via DPP. Brian returned via the VFL this week. Madden is threatening Briggs with a slow start. And if named, there are basement ruck options from the Western Bulldogs as well. This, to me, kind of there's a clear yes, you can do this and no, you can do this scenario. It's like, to me, if you went English and then another big dog at R2, like if you've got English and Luke Jackson or English and Gawn, or if you've got English and Grundy already or something like that, then I think you probably can do it if we get news that it's only a couple of weeks or something. You probably don't want to be holding that for like 6 weeks though. But if English was your top dog and then you've got McAndrew, I don't know. I don't think you can do that. What about you?
It's how much money you got. I think, again, we're going into areas where I think money's going to be an issue. And also, I think it depends on your rank. If you're someone who is in the top 10K, I don't think you need to. But if you're further out, then it might have to be a play to start thinking about money and how you can use that going forward. Who was the young... the thing is, there's actually some pretty good young rucks that could potentially come through. So English is going to be out for what, 3 weeks or so. So the Bulldogs are going to have to bring someone in. The guy from Geelong was really good today, Edwards.
Yeah, although Ryan. Chris Scott did kind of start to favour Blix towards the end of that game as well.
Yeah, I guess you got the Chris Scott factor. Madden might come in, as he said, for Briggsy. So I think it comes down to where your rank is. And if you're sitting pretty good and you've got the cash already, I don't think it's a must strategy. I think it's for those areas where you're going to need to start being creative to make money, but also start working up the ranks as well.
I think Nick Madden is almost a certainty to replace Briggsy at some stage, especially in combination. Like Jake Riccardi's doing quite well, being a part-time ruckman. I just think Madden's better than Briggs. He'll beat him out eventually, I think.
I'd also, I hope you don't mind me plugging another pod, but I'd listened to Pod this week, just in a very quick conversation with Holmesy. I think he's going to really deep dive into that in particular. So if you haven't listened to Pod, jump on. I think Holmesy's going to address it really, really well.
Dave asks, can we restart the season?
I'm with you, Dave. No, mate, we crack on. We do what we can.
Yeah.
And
life is Dave, I'm going to talk to you man to man, mate. There's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. There's always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're going to have to lose, mate. It's not about how fast you get there. It's not about what's waiting on the other side. Dave, it's the climb, mate. You have no idea what I'm referencing, do you? Do you know what I'm referencing?
No, but I'm very, getting very emotional. What's that from?
That's Miley. That's Miley Cyrus, man. That's the climb.
Oh, is it?
It's the climb. Yeah, it's a good lyric, though, isn't it? Very applicable.
Yeah, no, I was in. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Dave, you just got a truck on, mate. Bailey's Baggies asks, would you trade Caldwell to Farrow or just trade Windsor to Farrow instead? Thinking Windsor with the Bombers matchup could be an 80 anyway, and at least he isn't bleeding cash like Caldwell will be. What do you reckon, K-Man?
See, normally I would say get rid of Windsor and back your primos, but Caldwell is leaking money, absolutely leaking money. I'd love to know what the other trade is going to be, Bailey's Baggies, because a Caldwell to Farrow, I'd love to see what you're doing at the other end with that cash. If you're getting, say, a Blackiston to a Callahan or a Nass or a Whitfield, then absolutely I'd tick that off. If we get more intel, but if that's what we've got to go with, I think Caldwell has to go.
I'm with you. I mean, you look at Jai Caldwell. He came out with he finished with a 71, and I think he was lucky to finish with a 71. Like at halftime, he was on like 22 points or something ridiculous like that. So he had a big end to the game. No, something's going on. And I mean, Merritt, well, really, you know what? Like, it was in that third quarter, like halfway in that third quarter, when Essendon really was starting to build belief and everyone started showing up. You know, even Merritt was having not a great game. And then all of a sudden, Merritt reminded us that he's Zach Merritt. Archie Roberts just exploded. Jai Caldwell started ticking up. But until then, I mean, if we're going to get this up and down kind of thing from Essendon, I just don't trust him at all. And I think he's got to go. And like you said, if you can get a Callahan at the other end or a Whitfield or something, then that's awesome.
Windsor did something. Sorry, I was just going to say Windsor did something pretty similar. He was okay in the end, wasn't he?
Was this the week that he went like 90?
So he went 90 odd last week. What did he get? Maybe a 70? 71. Yeah, he's still 71. Making money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Part of me wishes I held him. Anyway, yeah, I think we like Caldwell to Farrow. Hugh F asks, Parrish or Ed Richards out? And do I go to Farrow and bank even more cash, or go to Finn Callahan and have only 500K left? For me, it's Parrish. Yeah.
Parrish has to go.
I love that. Only 500K left, mate. Can you toss some of it over our way? Parrish has to go. What did he put up? Like a 45 or something?
Yeah, he's
horrific.
He's got to go. Parrish absolutely has to go.
Yeah.
Richards is probably 2 weeks. I think he can hold. This is an interesting call, though, the Farrow to Finn Callahan, because I'm not going to lie, that's probably going to be me this week. It's either Parrish to a Finn Callahan, or it's a Farrow, but with a Farrow with a 90 odd. Was it 98?
Yeah.
98.
He might have actually. Did he get 98 or did he finish with a ton? I thought he clicked over a ton.
This is the week you got to get Farrow. If we're playing,
if you don't get him this week, you don't get him. Yeah.
Yeah. We're still going to start making money, because I don't know about you, but I don't see any other rookies coming through over the next month or so. There might be some Tigers come through, but not of this quality that are going to have a negative break even such as this. So we still have to be making cash. We still have to prioritize cash generation. And we've got one sitting in our laps with a Farrow.
My question is, who's the other person you're bringing in? Because, I mean, my goal this week is to get both Finn Callahan or Lockie Whitfield and Jacob Farrow. Like, those are the I'm trying to figure out how I can afford both of those guys. So if you're having to choose between a Finn Cal and a Farrow, my question is, what's the other half of your trade? Who's the other name that you're bringing in? And do you need to prioritize them? Maybe it's dealing with an English, and so you've got no choice. So you've got to pick.
There's my exact trades.
But
if
it's not, okay, is that dealing with English and then getting a Farrow, or getting Finn Cal and Farrow?
I think I have to prioritize Farrow.
Yeah,
I think I have to.
Yeah.
Cash generation is key at this point.
Adamas, I have $1.024 million.
Yep.
English to Gawn is locked in. Torn on second trade. Watkins to Bailey Smith, or Doveston to Farrow? It's a lot of money in the bank. You got to get Farrow in.
Yeah, I'd say Gawn and Farrow.
Because then you can do, I mean, if you still want to go I wouldn't be going all the way up to Bailey Smith now, but if you're going all the way up to Bailey Smith and you're set on doing that, you can do it next week, because if you go Farrow, you'll still have $1 million in the bank anyway.
So much money. Yeah.
Get Farrow this week.
There's a lot of coaches with leftover cash. Just sitting there with all of these bullets. Yeah.
I think it was was it Louis on Pod was saying he's going for the record. He wants to carry 2 million into week 24.
That's right. I'd love to see where he's at.
Louis, mate, if you're listening, would love an update. I'll tune into Pod this week. Get Farrow in this week. Tim McQueen asks, do we grab Gawn/Grundy, or could we consider Sweet, who's got a green run ahead for English? K-Man, you are rubbing your hands together. I'm going to pass to you, because I think you're excited about this one.
This is the debate. We've got Gawn. What is he? 1.2 mil. He will be 1.2 mil. You have a look at his. Let's break this down. So since the start of the year, again, solo ruck, we're worried about his age. He's pulled out a 109 against a dual ruck system, a 127 against a dual ruck system, 141 against Big Pitt, who's really challenging, and then a 121 against his arch nemesis, the Whittler. Let me rattle off these next 5 rounds. He goes into Essendon, where Blackiston has knocked out Sherry and English in the last 2 weeks. You talk about
he's the Grim Reaper for Ruckman.
He is the Grim Reaper. He then goes into a dual ruck setup of the Lions, but it is at the MCG. Richmond, he does go up against Grundy. Then he has the Weagles. It's not a bad next 4 to 5 weeks. His run to the year is also very delicious, because he plays Richmond twice. He plays the Bombers twice. He's locked away. Yeah. He would be locked away.
Yeah.
He comes up against Geelong, who we know don't really have, unless they put blitz in there. So you're paying top dollar. You're paying for the best run. You're paying for the best ruckman. I'll let you talk about Grundy. Tell me about Grundy, because he's just come off a 30 odd against the Weagles, but his run
137. 137. Yes. And this is the flag with Grundy. So he's going into a Whittler in round 5.
Yep.
I actually think GWS are not a super red team for ruckman anymore. Briggsy's not getting it done, so I'm not too worried about that. English should be out for their game. Yeah. I mean, he might be back, but even if he is back, he'll have been out with injury for a few weeks. He'll be an underdone English, so I'm actually not super worried about that one. But then he goes Max Gawn, Tristan Sherry, and then I guess a dual ruck situation of Steen and Decam. Look, I think historically this run is not great. I think this year, though, when we actually look at what these teams are doing, its next round is not very good. So I would be nervous to trade into a Grundy this round, knowing that he's got a Jared Witts to come. And then round 8, where he's got Max Gawn. But I'm actually not worried about GWS. And I'm not too worried about the Western Bulldogs. I guess the only maybe flag with the Western Bulldogs is the pace of play that they've got this year. And maybe that won't suit a ruck, but I haven't looked into those numbers.
200K
Max Gawn's
cheaper.
Run is better.
Yeah, but he's 200K cheaper. That's huge.
Okay, it's Nick Dacos again. It's Nick Dacos from a round or two ago, right? When everyone was saying how Nick Dacos did his 130 or whatever, and then everyone, including yourself, went, do we trade into Nick Dacos? I was wondering, do we trade into Nick Dacos? And heaps of the competition did, because the logic was like, well, okay, is he well priced? No. Is he value? Probably not. But he could go 140s. He could average 120 this year, maybe. So if you're gonna get him in, now's the time to do it. Would you say that this is that situation again, but with the ruck line? If you're one of these coaches who's lost to Tim English, is this just kind of a gift? Because usually you would go to like a Grundy, perhaps, but like in upgrade season, because he's more value. But in this particular situation, are you going, do you just go, I've been gifted, I've got over $1 million sitting on my bench now, just get it to the top guy, because it's probably in the long run maybe not going to make too much of a difference, but I don't know.
I'll also put this out there. At the end of the year, I'm going to want a Gawn Grundy combo, right? At some stage, I'm going to want both of them. So I'm also thinking, what's going to be the best way to get McAndrew from my R2 to one of these guys? Is it Grundy, who could potentially consistently be around that 1 million mark? Or is it going to be easier to wait for a Gawn to come down in price if he comes down in price? I would say that a Grundy might be easier to get the McAndrew to another. I think it'd be easier to get from McAndrew to Grundy than it would be from getting McAndrew to a Gawn perhaps later on in the year, depending on how your team is looking, how much cash generation you made. So I think that needs to be thought of as well, because most of the comp are going to do that. Eventually they're going to move McAndrew. Oh, unless he keeps pumping out 115s, why would you change that? But that's plan A, right?
I mean, that's absolutely.
I would think later in the year it might be easier to upgrade to a Grundy later on in the season than it might be for a Gawn. Obviously, some things can happen. Gawn might. Oh, I'm not going to say it. He's not getting injured. I'm just going to touch wood. You know what I mean.
Don't say it. But anything can happen in fantasy. And there's the other thing. Happen. Like last year, Brodie Grundy got off to a slow start, and then he became the ruck that you wanted to own. He just went on an absolute tear. Who's to say that he's not going to do that again and skyrocket in price? So,
okay. Sorry.
I was just going to say, but I like your point. Like, I think
something to think about.
My point is just that anything could happen, but we've got to apply some kind of logic to what we do. And I think going that thing of like, well, what's the easier way to get both of these guys in over the course of the season? That's a perfectly good framework to apply.
Yeah. If I play a straight bat, it's round 4. Our job is to have money in the bank so that we continually work around our team. I think Grundy's the play. 200k less. We're talking about a gun. He's just got some momentum. As you said, it's a tricky run, but English might not be playing. GWS could be an easier matchup. I think that's the straight bat. The difference between these options and perhaps where I've been is I started with a decam. That didn't work. I've had to go to a McAndrew. English is now down. I'm now thinking, mucking around with this. I'm going to the top. So yep. I guess it's totally how it's got the implications around what you're going to do with that money.
I think the other thing I'd throw out there, and this is probably the last thing we'll say before maybe we move on, is look at your next week or two of trades and go, who do I actually want to target next week, and who do I want to target the week after? You know, who's got the right matchups, which is the right premium? Is there a rookie that I've got to get now or whatever? Look at those combinations and go, okay, is that 200k going to be the difference between me affording this particular premium that I really want to get in next week or not? And if Grundy is the difference between you affording that person that you want or compromising and getting someone you're not super happy with, I'd probably also factor that in and think about, is your life going to be made really, really tricky a week or two from now because you went all the way to the top when you could have saved 200 grand and gotten the other player you want and built that entire core, that stronger core. So that's probably the other thing to consider.
I'll also say that...
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Gorn historically doesn't do well against the lesser teams. Like a West Coast, you'd expect Gorn to go in the past couple of years a 130, 140. He hasn't done that. He's done what he's needed to do to get through a game. He's very much a big game player.
Is that a thing of like in those big games, he's probably required to carry a lot more of the team on his back and be much more of a leader? Whereas if he maybe... probably subconsciously, he's like, well, we can comfortably beat this team. He probably just doesn't need to do as much as he would otherwise in a trickier matchup.
Yeah, well, he's just come off a milestone game, which you'd imagine he'd be absolutely up for. And then he's gone against Wits, who he's traditionally had real challenges with. So that's 2 games he's been right up for it. And Max Gawn does what Max Gawn does when he's in a battle. So, it's a great debate.
So that we don't miss the last part of Tier's question, or could we consider Sweet, who's got a green run ahead of English? Can I just read you Jordan Sweet's run?
Yeah.
So they've just taken on Richmond this round. St Kilda, so TDK, Roma, then Hawks, who seem to be doing this dual thing with Meek and Reeves, then, Blix at the Cats, and then McAndrew in Adelaide, who doesn't seem to be the greenest matchup in the world. No. By round 9, I'd say Tim English should be back, although we don't know. And then Wits at the Suns. That actually doesn't sound like a super green run to me. Does that sound like a particularly green run to you? I just don't know if I could do a Jordan Sweet. I think I'd rather not muck around with this, and I'd rather just get one of those big dogs, I think, if you're in this situation.
Yeah, I'd also look at statistics about Ruckman at Adelaide Oval. I don't think notoriously they do amazingly well. So I would check out any data you can find on ruck performances at Adelaide Oval due to the narrow nature of the ground. It just doesn't seem to be as easier as a Grundy at SCG with a lot of stoppages because it's smaller, and then the vast spaces of the MCG. Just seems to be an odd ground where I'm not sure ruckmen score that well.
Adding yet another reason to your very long list of reasons not to select any Port Adelaide players ever.
That's it. Never again. Never again.
Sean asks, are we paying up for Witt, or is the value too hard to ignore with Newman, Coleman and Bice? Also, which 2 are priority trade-outs this week from English, Parrish, Blackiston, Steen covers for English? Let's focus on that first question. Are we paying up for Witt, or is the value too hard to ignore with Newman, Coleman and Bice? I'm paying up for Witt personally, I think this week, or Callahan. Like that's always been my goal is like this week, Richmond, I want Whitfield or I want Callahan. I don't really care which one. It just depends on who I can fit and how. I think Coleman and Bice are cheap enough where you can probably wait another week and get them in next week, and that's fine. And Newman, he's a bit more expensive, but I'm more dubious at his capacity to score consistently highly in that Carlton system. So I wouldn't want to trade straight into him personally this week. But my current plan is actually to get Callahan or Witt this week and then get Coleman or Bice next week. That's currently on the agenda for me. What about you, mate?
I agree completely. Whitfield, if you can get him before he gets too expensive. I think at some stage many teams are going to have a Newman, Coleman and Bice as the value play in the next 3 weeks as we start to see a bit of how should we put it? We're not going to have the same cash that we've got now. So I think you're right. I think we've got a little bit of time with the Coleman Bice to bring them in the next couple of weeks. The next bit's the interesting one of Parrish, Blackiston, English. How would you rate them in terms of priority?
Oh, I mean, Blackiston's the last. Blackiston's 3. I think it's English, Parrish, Blackiston for me. But it because I understand the thing of like maybe wanting to hold English and I get Parrish is bleeding cash, he's scoring terribly. But if you've got English, I don't know, what did Oscar Steen cause? What did Oscar Steen? He's not scoring. I mean, is Oscar Steen going to get you the same amount of money, going to get you the same points as a Darcy Parish? Maybe that's the answer. If Oscar Steen's going to score you what Darcy Parish is going to score you, at least he's going to make money doing it. So if you have to, maybe it's Parish, English, Blackiston. But that's really hard. What do you think?
Yeah, because there is a Steen cover, I'd probably go Parish, Blackiston, then English. But Parish is number one. He's just got to go. Absolutely. If you can prioritise him and
he's
work around
bleeding.
the other two.
Shocking.
Yep.
What a poo-poo of a pick. And also, like, the midfield, the guys in the midfield that you might use to cover a Parish, like, or like, you know, that you might use for midfield cover, for example, are not getting it done anyway. Like Smith, 57, Blamires, 55, Watkins, 21. So, yeah. I think Parish first. Pax us, is Archie Roberts a trade target? Lol, but seriously, what are we doing about Caldwell? Okay. I know he's maybe joking there, but is Roberts a trade target? Okay, man.
No, I'm not touching Essendon at all. Tell you what,
Roberts is the greatest football player of all time.
That first half. No, I mean, great fantasy for those who had him, but who's to say Brad Scott's going to go, you know what, we lost, you're in the midfield next week. You just don't know. But Caldwell, Jesus. Yeah, that's someone I'd probably...
for what it's worth, I agree. Do not target Archie Roberts as a trade target. However, I will say it wasn't just his second half. He came alive in the second quarter. I think he had, it was like 17 or 19 points in Q1, and then he had back-to-back massive quarters in Q2 and Q3. So he really turned
you talking
on.
about Roberts?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I mean. He was just the guy throughout.
Yeah.
But it's just their game style. If Essendon think they're going to play that way and be competitive, they're kidding themselves, and they weren't.
I think I really hope. I was actually going to say, I forgot I was going to do this. One of my giddy ups was actually going to be Essendon, because I know they lost. They started the game atrociously. However, quarter 3 and quarter 4, like I tweeted out at one point that Essendon's pressure looked actually amazing. Now, are they going to be able to do that consistently for 4 quarters every week? Absolutely not. My hope is that Brad Scott goes away this week and doesn't focus on the fact that they lost, because surely they're acknowledging that they are not a top-end team now. I would hope that he goes away and he goes, let's look at quarters 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Even the back end of quarter 2. Let's look at that part of the game and look at what we did right, because they did a lot right. There was still a lot of skill errors. There was still a lot of sloppy ball use. Have you got a fly or something?
I've had this fly for the past half hour. I've had enough.
But I hope he just focuses on the positives, and I hope that maybe we can get some more exciting games out of Essen. Got to get rid of Caldwell, trade him out, get rid of him, use this as an opportunity, do a bit of a fix up, because he's still worth a lot of money. You can still get him to some really great. Bring in Callahan, bring in Finn Callahan, replace him. That's it for your questions for the week. But we got one more segment. The trade block.
I thought I nailed it.
Worked out.
No,
You did nail it. It worked out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We got to talk about some trade block stuff. So we, of course, are going to talk about the players that you want. But first, we need to talk about the players that need to.
Jeez, no.
That need to.
Get out of here! Go home! What are you, crazy? You're a real nut, you know that?
That's funny. So, do you want to list these guys off, or do you want me to list these guys off?
Let's just go one for one. 1 for 1?
Oh, okay. Yeah. 1 for 1. You start.
Tim English, get out of here. Unless you've got cover. If you've got cover, I think you'd wait and get rid of some other names you're about to mention. Other than that,
it's almost
you can get out.
It's almost a gift if you were running Tim English with another big dog and you have McAndrew on your bench, because now you can just run McAndrew and hold Tim English for a little while and hope he comes back quick. Darcy Parish, I think we're in agreement. He is the number one guy. If he is still in your team, get him out. He's going to be bleeding cash, and very shortly it's going to be very hard to get him up to someone worthwhile. So move him on.
Darcy Cameron, he shouldn't be in your team, although I did see one the other day. Get rid of him. Get him going. If you've got Cameron and English, I'm sorry. You've got a double upgrade this week.
That hurts. Jack Carroll, it is time to move on from Jack Carroll. He is maxed out. We don't even know if he's going to hold his spot. $479K. He's made a bit of money, so move him on or move him down to like a Jacob Farrow. Perfect guy that you can trade out for Jacob Farrow.
Yep, Jack Watkins' cash has stalled, and I'm worried he's actually going to get dropped this week. So keep an eye out for team releases. If you've got other priorities, obviously go to those and attend to those first. But if you're sitting in a pretty luxurious position, just keep an eye out. He might be a rookie who'd go early.
I think it was Holmesy who was saying he was giving shades of Moraes from last year.
Yeah,
of like
exactly
come out, give a couple pop
Yeah.
games, and then Lockie Blackiston, it's time to go.
Love to have you on the show.
Love to have you on the show, Holmesy. Always welcome to come on the show, mate. Lockie Blackiston, you can move on from him. I think if you've got other areas that you need to go first, you can probably hold him for another week, and he should make $5 more grand or something like that. But you can move him on.
He's going to knock Max Gawn out next week.
And then he's going to score, and then everyone's going to trade him out, and he's going to score a ton as well.
Yeah.
Just to really rub it in.
Jai Caldwell, very underwhelming, low time on ground. He just doesn't seem to be getting any momentum into his footy, continuity, fitness, and it's not ideal to get rid of a primo this stage of the season. But again, if you're in a position to do so, it might be worth. Get out of here.
Next one on the list is Sam Walsh. I'm looking at moving on early from Sam Walsh. I'm in a very fortuitous position this week. I don't have Tim English. I didn't have to deal with Errol Goulden. I don't have a Jai Caldwell. I've somehow managed to miss a lot of the bullets this season. So as a result of that, I'm thinking about using this as an opportunity to move on, say, a Jack Carroll, and then also look at who are my failed kind of underpriced premiums or mid-pricer guys who I can maybe just flick out for someone that is actually going to do what I wanted them to do in the first place. So most people probably can't move on from a Sam Walsh, but I'm just flagging it that if you're in a fortuitous position like I am, that's a name that I think we can actually, and we might talk more about Sam Walsh on our end of the week pod.
Yeah. Zach Butter's similar. He's not the premium we thought he was going to be, or I didn't really think he was going to be anyway. Just with his lack of support. You know what's really down and disappointing is his tackle numbers. Did he have one on the weekend? One.
Oh, I don't know. Something like that.
Tackle.
Shocking.
So not the two-way runner that we thought he was going to be. And he's someone that isn't going to make much money unless he has some spike games. But I think the Rosie injury has really capped him because suddenly he's the guy that has all the attention. Ollie Wines looks out of depth at the moment in terms of his fitness, and Bergman's coming back from injury. So it's a solo game at the moment, and for opposing defensive structures, he just seems to be the guy to nullify.
All right, so we've got a lot of names. I think the best way to do this, because what we're going to do is talk about who are the guys that you can target for each of these. I just want to rattle off the whole, because I don't think we need to talk about every single one of these names in depth. But if I just rattle off these names and then K-Man, do you want to talk maybe who are your favorite couple of options for those guys?
Yep.
So starting with a Darcy Parish, you could target a Tuke Miller ahead of DPP to try and get ahead of that. Caleb Sarong and an Andy Brayshaw both looked quite good. There's still concerns, obviously, about market share of points in that midfield, but they both did really, really well on the weekend. Isaac Heaney played the West Coast Eagles, but he looked fantastic, and he's a bit of a pod option for you. Cozzy Pickett looks like the forward to target. And then Jacob Farrow is a must-have no matter what this week. So if Parrish is your guy to go get him and you're doing something else somewhere else, then Jacob Farrow, I think, is kind of the name relevant to all of these guys too.
Yeah, I'd rank Farrow 1, Heaney 2, Brayshaw 3. I would rank out of those for all those reasons you just said. Cozzy Pickett, look, he was still up about the 90 price bracket, so a couple of good scores in a row. He'll go up a little bit, but I also think he's going to get some attention, so I think we can wait on a Pickett.
If you've got a Tim English or a Darcy Cameron, we've talked about Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy heaps already this episode, so we won't rehash that conversation, but you've heard the arguments for each. Go with your gut. Would you rather just not deal with the potential volatility of scoring and just go right to the top? Or would you rather save a bit of money and target value? So those are your two options there. For someone like a Carroll or a Blackiston, dependent on your money in the bank, again, Jacob Farrow is, you got to get him in this week. But we've talked about Kitty Coleman, Nick Newman, Colby McKercher we haven't talked about, but he's another name, and Riley Bice. Any final thoughts on those names?
Just great to see some value. Really good choices, and I could see having a couple of those in the next couple of weeks. Absolutely.
If you are in the very fortuitous position, well, not so fortuitous if you have Caldwell, but if you're trading out a premium, if you're trading out a Walsh, a Caldwell, I don't think any of us are really trading out Butters, but I don't know if you decide to do that. I thought guys like Wash, Will Ashcroft, Jack Steele is still an option. He's doing really, really well. Finn Callahan and Lockie Whitfield are guys that you can target as they play Richmond this week. Max Holmes and Nasiah Wanganeen Miller still has a 9 in front of his name. So these are the kinds of guys that you could, underpriced premium options that you could target if you're trying to move on from one of those names there.
Oh, cracking names. Callahan, Whitfield, Nasiah, just coming off their bye. They'll be fresh. Nasiah, can you believe he's under $1 million? This is the guy last year everyone was looking to have in their side. I think their run is pretty good as well. I don't think he's going to cop the same amount of attention. It will come later in the year, but I think he's got a stretch where he's going to get more expensive. Steele has been the pick of the year, absolutely, for those who picked him up. Can we go there now, especially when we've got an Ashcroft and a Messiah under $1 million? Not sure.
I think that's it in terms of the trade block. Have you got any other thoughts? I think we've covered a lot of ground.
Just what a week. Just get to your priorities. I mean, there's going to be a lot of coaches with money, and unfortunately, due to the need for Faro, I think there's going to continually be a lot of money sitting on your bank account and not on field. And at some stage, we're going to have to do that. Now, remember, I was talking to you earlier in the week. Some stage, we're going to get these rookies off the field. We're still doing fix-up, but we've got to get these good rookies onto our benches because we're going to start seeing some inconsistent scoring.
Do you want to talk about some action movies?
Oh, yeah. This is a long pod. This is great.
The real OGs will stick around for this bit. We put a poll. I put a poll out on Twitter about the best action movies, like classic action films. So we were really, I mean, it could be from any era, but we were talking as we were going to the footy, like we were talking about 80s and 90s action films. We had a bit of a disagreement about this poll in terms of what movies should go on there. And frankly, there's a movie that is a personal favorite of mine that, look, I'm going to admit this. You're correct. It absolutely shouldn't be on this poll, but it made me laugh. I found it really funny how much you didn't want it there. But I was like, no, it's going there. It's going on there. So we put up a poll. Rambo, Die Hard, Con Air, and The Terminator.
Yeah.
Have you seen the results?
No, I haven't. Tell me everything. Can I guess them? Can I guess them?
Yeah, please guess. Please guess.
I reckon it goes Terminator, Die Hard. What was the other one again? Rambo and
Con Air.
Yeah, that's my order.
Close. Die Hard with 41% won the poll.
Yeah, good.
Now, do you think, because I put the Terminator, do you think if I'd put Terminator 2, that would have come out on top?
Oh, I just thought it was like the franchise.
That's what I was thinking too. Because someone was like, if you said Judgment Day, but I was like, I just think I like to pretend the third one doesn't exist though. Yeah. Rambo was second with 32%.
Was it really?
Con Air, yeah. Con Air was third. No, I'm kidding. Con Air came last.
And I'm back.
The Terminator was third with 18%, and Con Air was fourth with 9%. I think that Con Air was probably my own vote and one other person.
Yeah,
probably.
That meme of
why do you hate
the hair?
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant.
Nicolas Cage, I think, is just a terrible actor. That was the worst impersonation.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Just no.
Why do you hate him so much? Why do you hate Con Air? Is it just because he's bad?
Yeah, it's just because he's bad. He's terrible, but he's typecast to that same role. But what's the other guy? Keanu Reeves, same deal. But I can watch Keanu Reeves in John Wick, Matrix, those things. But Nick Cage, I just can't do it.
I love Nick Cage. Like unabashedly, and I totally I acknowledge the man is not a good actor. He's not a good actor. He's really bad. I love him. I will watch anything that has Nicolas Cage in it. Even the low budget, like terrible movies that he does. Didn't he like, I think he bought like 12 castles and 3 islands, and the rumor goes that he did that, and then he ran out of money, and so then he started taking like every movie that came his way. What was the one where he was like slowly becoming a vampire? And he was like working in corporate. He was a really young guy, and there's that meme. And he does this face. He's like, "Do you know the one? You don't know the one I'm talking about?"
No idea. No idea. This flies back.
Okay, last thing on Nicolas Cage, I promise, and then we'll start talking about other movies. I think the ultimate 90s cheesy trifecta of action movies, it's an unofficial Nick Cage trilogy, and it's Con Air, Face Off, and The Rock.
Yeah. I
can just watch them on repeat.
Yeah.
I took his face off. I took his face off. So good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't do it.
Okay. what was some other movies that people said? Rambo, but if you... Cuzzy says Rambo, but if you would have said Terminator 2, then that one wins for him. Terminator 2 is possibly the greatest action movie of all time. I think.
It's huge call. It's good. It's very, very good. It's a classic. I still like the original, but yes, for its time, I remember coming out. The guy was liquid, whatever he was. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. The what's it? Actually, T1000.
Yeah, the sound. Yeah. The soundtrack. Everything about it. Yeah, it was cool. And we're still waiting for it to actually happen.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think it might be around the corner. It might be around the corner. Oh, man. And then everyone just put a bunch of gifts to their favorite movies. Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs. Get together. What's the best? What's your best line from Predator?
Predator.
Actually, is it Predator?
Is that to get to the chopper?
Yeah. That's Predator. Get to the chopper. Yeah. Wow. For sure. Yeah. What were some of your bonus ones that couldn't make that list? Like if you had an extended list.
Lethal Weapon, the trilogy, Beverly Hills Cop, and there is I want you to go back and watch a Clint Eastwood movie called Kelly's Heroes.
Okay. I'm looking it up now. That is a young Clint Eastwood. Wow.
Oh, it's old. It's old, man.
Is that Paul Giamatti?
Oh, yeah. If anyone is out there,
wow,
who knows what I'm talking about, love to have you on the show. In fact, you're straight on.
It's got Donald Sutherland. It's got Don Rickles.
Donald Sutherland is amazing.
Outstanding.
He is outstanding.
Wow.
Check it out. What about you? Any ones that didn't make
Great
it?
Shout. Escape from New York, Escape from LA, just ultimate cheese. RoboCop,
massive cheese.
Cliffhanger.
Yep.
Cliffhanger is the greatest terrible action movie, except for Con Air. Second only to Con Air. I mean, how good is How good is Cliffhanger? It's so good. Sylvester Stallone at his best, I reckon. Maybe not at his best.
Snakes on the plane.
Snakes on a Plane. I have watched that movie so many. Have you not watched it? It's so bad. You got to watch it.
Yeah, okay.
It's great.
Check it out. These holidays.
It's so bad. Have you seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
I will watch Snakes on a Plane if you watch Kelly's Heroes.
It's not an even trade.
Next week.
Oh, I'll give it a red hot crack. I'll give it a red hot crack. I got a busy week. This show next week? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not Thursdays. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Kelly's Heroes for Snakes on a Plane.
Deal.
Have you seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
No.
So Snakes on a Plane is all about snakes. Eight-Legged Freaks is giant spiders.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, you've let Jimmy Jams in.
I am. He's editing. This is great. I can go have dinner.
Oh, is he editing? Wow. Well, does that mean we're done?
That's the plan.
Should we wrap up?
I think we're done.
Oh, there's Jimmy Jams. Welcome. We're done. All right. That's it, everyone. You can follow K-Man on Twitter at K-Man_TC Fantasy. You can follow me on Twitter at Contest Fantasy. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you're actually seeing Jimmy Jams in the flesh. Well, the digital flesh.
It's clicking.
On Thursday, join us for Trade Therapy, where we talk you through our trades, your trades, and we try to survive another week of fantasy footy together. Check out Twitter for the polls.